Hey guys, welcome back to another DVD Extras brought to you by your boys, Best of 5, G and Chris.
Chris is taking the lead on this
We
one.
have some very, very special guests. If you didn't watch last Wednesday,
Bitches.
we have Skip and or Paul.
Skip Schwartz and Paul Knopfsinger.
I don't do last names because the internet's weird.
I don't do last names because I always forget them, but I know these guys' last names. So I'm
Oh, that's
definitely gonna
fine.
do that.
It's just like once you know their last name, they ask you for feet pics. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you guys want some
I'm in.
extra
My
money?
advice to you guys,
I'm in.
never put your feet on the internet for free.
My feet are
Never
gross.
put anything of yourself for free.
That's what makes them extra special.
We're starting an
They pay
OnlyFans,
extra
you guys.
for that.
We're starting an OnlyFans with all four of us, and we're just going to show our dicks, and you gotta guess which one is which. You could probably guess mine real quick.
Yeah, I was like, it's pretty obvious. You have the brown one, the long one, the wrinkly one, and the small one.
No, not even the brown one. It's the brown and anteater one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll
that's
make it
part
real
of the
quick,
brown
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun, guys.
Paul Rudd.
I honestly,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So I got to ask you guys. You guys have both been on the podcast. You guys are the first
Repeats.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I regret it completely.
Same.
Not even our first repeats,
right,
but our
right.
first like four banger at the new studio.
At the new studio, we've had one four banger. We've had a foursome before, but it wasn't as good. It wasn't as quality as this one.
Don't.
It's pretty hard to
downgrade
get
another
some
We were
episode.
pretty fucked up when we did that one too.
I mean, Skip and I
We're
are
fucked up now. We're totally
busy.
sober.
we're
Yeah.
kind of celebrities. I mean, Skip
Yeah.
is pretty much a celebrity.
Okay. So let me ask you guys that because I think we've all gotten the moniker of being celebrities, and I fucking hate that. I hate it so much.
No, I've
Ooh,
never
that's a
heard that.
good segue.
So let's talk about your idea of like being famous in a town or a city that we
I wouldn't
all
call myself famous.
Oh,
No,
I would.
you're
I
definitely
absolutely would,
famous.
Skip.
No,
I
That's,
absolutely would.
that's the thing is like no one who lives in Greeley wants to be called famous, and I get that because I'm the same way. Like everyone's like, "Oh, geez, Greeley famous," and I'm just like, "I'm just G." That there's no fucking thing that really
Also-
matters to me. So
Yeah,
Skip,
that's-
go first and how
Yeah.
you deal
So,
with your
yeah,
your
let's
How
go-
I deal with my fame.
Yeah,
No,
let's
I
go.
didn't.
Let's go
I have-
least
I
famous
have-
to most famous.
Least, so I'll start.
So, Chris.
Okay, so I'll start. I don't have to be in front of people, which you all do.
I don't have to.
No,
I don't
you
wa-
do.
I don't want
You
to.
do.
no,
But you
I-
all
that's
have
fair,
to be in
that's
front
fair.
of people.
No.
So it's very easy for me because I
That's
do
it's
not
fair.
have to.
No,
be in
he has a
front of
point.
no,
He has
no,
a
no.
point. He has a point.
Just because
He has
he's in
a
front of
point.
people doesn't make you're famous. You're fucking
No,
all over
but
Instagram, whether you even know it or not.
But so the big thing for me is, like I said, I don't have to be. You
Yeah,
guys
that's
all
his
have
point.
to
That's
be.
his point.
You
Because
do
we're
have
all
to be.
entertainers.
And if I really wanted to, I could shut off my Instagram right now and then
And still do your job.
still do my job,
the
really
problem
well,
with that is
and
I-
then also just decline
Okay.
going on. I could disappear and still do my job.
I'm
You
not-
guys cannot.
Okay, first and
Oh,
foremost.
so you're a magician too?
I will be. David Blaine
Sitting in water.
Skip sitting in water.
Skip sitting in the water. Yeah. No, but I will say, I think the thing about you, Skip, is that enough people know you because of like just how genuine you are, and the consequence of that is you're probably like, I'm not even trying to be this person, which. In tune, honestly, I think it makes you such a better person in that aspect of it. But unfortunately, even if you were to leave your
Sure.
Facebook or your Instagram or whatever you're going to do, I think that the quality and the work that you do and the way you come out and the industry you work in, you're going to be in the spotlight no matter if you want to be or not.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I tried harder, I could go away from it. But all of you guys have to be in front of people and talk to people and do stuff, and I don't actually have to.
At least we can all agree we don't want to be. Right?
I don't know if I believe that though. I mean, it's also the same reason why you guys, we're doing a podcast and stuff is because we all like it to an extent.
Well,
Yeah.
the reason we get in front of people is because we all want the approval of strangers. I mean, you can boil this down to as much as you want. Is we want
Yeah,
people to
yeah,
like
yeah.
us, and we want people to like what we do, and we want strangers' approval. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why entertainers do what they do.
But I think with all of us, if anything, is that we want to do that, but we also want to encourage people to grow in the liking of what we're doing. Not necessarily us,
Right.
but more so in the sense of like, don't like me, like the product that I'm bringing out to you guys.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, and,
okay.
and I talked about this the last time I was on the Best of 5 episode 666.
Check it out.
Yeah,
Check
check
it.
it out. We,
That's your fault, by the way, Skip, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, that was because you're like, I want to be episode 420.
yeah. I just want people to forget some bullshit.
There you go.
And for I perform mysteries and magic, and I tell stories, and I want for 45 to 90 minutes, I want people to forget about you know, their shitty jobs and their insurance
wallets.
bills, and they've lost their wallets. It's in the couch.
It's gonna be in the couch. I'm gonna be like, fucking A,
but
Paul.
G, you know, we've
And then he's
Probably
gonna-
the longest magic trick he's ever performed.
It was Paul at the same time.
He's like,
And then he's like, it's
gonna
in the
text me,
couch, and
like,
just
in,
like,
an hour from now, like, ta-da, I told you. And I'm like, fucking, I'm not texting you if it is.
Bree's like, I was a part of all of this.
So, but you know, G, you and I've talked about this a lot off air, just you know, in over the last several years about being Greeley good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and Chris, get ready to hit the button. There's a Greeley performer who does an Elvis show. Fuck that.
Wait. Go.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Hit it. He does an Elvis show.
that guy.
And he was really the inspiration in my trying to grow my show.
Yeah.
My biggest fear, and this is going to sound terrible because I grew up in Greeley. I've lived here my whole life. My biggest fear is being Greeley good.
Yeah.
You know, and when I think Skip has beat that.
Now's that's my new fear. Jesus Christ, thanks, Paul.
Well, but
Yeah, bro, you're
you know,
fucked.
But there's nothing wrong with it. But to what I do, you know, what is my competition in Greeley? What is my what are the
I
competitors?
literally know zero magicians in Greeley besides
There's
you.
one, and I won't name them.
I
Because
know one magician, but he moved to Florida. So I
And
don't know.
Mike, Magic Mike, which
Yeah.
you know what, Mike Harrington is one of the absolute best sleight of hand magicians I've ever met in my entire life.
And he's a really good dude too. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
name,
no, he worked at bars, right?
the name Magic Mike was fucking stupid.
No, that's a dope name.
And I told him, I told that from the very beginning.
hanging
That was
brains.
a terrible name.
Changing lanes. I don't know
But
what
then
it
the
is.
Channing Tatum movie came
Yeah,
out.
well, he got that afterwards. Anyway, but Mike, absolutely one of the greatest sleight of hand magicians I've ever met.
Although if he did sleight of hand in a fucking thong,
Well,
Then it's Magic Mike. Then it's
well, so
Magic
I've really
Mike.
tried hard to get. I only do, you know. I mean, we've talked about this. I only do 1 or 2, maybe 3 shows in really a year, and it's. I don't want to wear. I mean, there's nothing more narcissistic than relying on your friends and family to support your career or your hobby. I mean, ask any insurance agent or ask any you know financial planner, financial advisor. They rely on their friends and family, and I've really tried hard to get my show, and you know what. I've performed in I don't know how many dozens of cities this year. So it's I don't know.
No, I guess
I don't want to be Greeley good.
No, for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's a solid point. Like my biggest fear is like just being that dude who's like 45, 55, whatever years old and still just
Sorry.
Do you remember Hot Beef Combo?
I don't.
Do you remember that band?
I actually vaguely remember.
Do you remember that was a
Hobby
band?
Farm,
That was a
actually.
huge Greeley band forever. And I don't know that they ever even made it as far as Windsor. I don't know. I don't know. They may have.
But yeah, I mean like so I guess like every time like my band right now defeats the purpose. Check out our EP.
They're doing Holy Diver. I heard that earlier. They're doing
No,
a cover of Holy
that's a
Diver.
different band.
Defeats
That's
the
Siege
Purpose.
Perilous. Come check us out at the
Defeats the
Roxy on
Purpose
October
fucks.
30th.
Defeats the purpose fucks.
Yeah, defeats the porpoise. Like I'm not saying my
hard.
metal band is worse,
It's
but
the only compliment I'll
defeats
give
the porpoise
Chris.
is very good.
Defeats the purpose, it fucks. Very hard.
Chris is the only compliment I'll give you, man. Is that Defeat the Fortress fucks. That's the
Yeah,
best band
they-
you've been
they
in.
Go hard.
Yeah.
It's
They
the
go
best
hard.
band you've been in.
And I've been in
Definitely.
your band.
Exactly. That's the nicest compliment you can give me.
But anyway, so that's like kind of our goal is like to not play in Greeley because we know so many people in Greeley. We can
Right.
play in Greeley literally everywhere. But we're trying to focus on Fort Collins and Denver.
Okay.
We've played more Fort Collins and Denver shows than we've played in Greeley. We've only played in Greeley like 4 times out of the 30 something shows we've played.
So I agree with what all of you guys are saying. I think my biggest thing right now is like, why is it the fact that Greeley is like that, so like nimble or so just right? And I think I know the reason why. It's
Yeah, I was
because,
like,
it's
I can
because there's
answer
not
that
there's not a lot of
very
people that
easily.
actually make the effort
I
to
want
make
to
it
hear,
happen,
I want
right?
to hear your answer, Chris. What answer it?
Yeah, go for it.
So Greeley focuses on that idea of being out and about. So you have those people who have the money to spend come to like a Friday Fest show. And so they come to Friday Fest at like whatever, 7:00, see some main cover artist that's not even from Greeley, and then they leave. But then all the actual local acts start at 9 and they don't promote that. So Greeley is very much more about the status of going to an event.
Yeah, it's more FOMO than it is actually being.
Yeah,
there for
so
the
it's
support
going
local.
to an event than actually promoting the local artist. And I don't want to talk shit, but I'm talking mad shit right now.
I'll join
Friday
you.
Fest is the worst offender of that because
Yeah.
they try to like further the Greeley music scene. But when's the last Greeley band that you know who played?
Right.
No, you're so okay. So
Yeah.
I hear that.
So everything Chris is saying is I
Silver
agree
and
with.
Gold, the Greeley band.
They used to be.
They are.
Okay.
They are, and I don't
No,
know
they
what they
used to
claim.
be.
I don't know what
Okay.
they
No,
claim
they
now.
claim Denver. No,
Just
fuck
Yeah,
that.
they claim Denver now.
Listen,
Yeah.
here's the thing about that I think why everything you guys are saying I agree with and I'm all on board with, but at the same time I'm trying to change that shit is because I think that there's been people who have ruined the music scene by not paying their artists for one, and
Yeah.
two, not only that, like we've had
You don't work for Exposure?
I used
Dude,
to
Exposure Bucks
I
in like
fucking used to, man.
2012.
Right.
But in this fucking
the currency
economy,
was good.
fucking
In this
inflation is a
economy.
fucking bitch. I can't play shit with Exposure, you know. But not only that, I think it's also one of those things that Greeley has been such a conservative, very. We don't change our ways of how we do things, which it's fine. I get it. But at the same time, it's like you have something that has been unique to Colorado in general, and you haven't changed it in 9 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like I get
yeah.
it. Funk If I Know is dope, but they've had band changes that I think there's only one original band for the first and the
Yeah,
extra
dude,
bottom here.
Funk If I Know from where I met them to now is I don't know anybody.
Exactly. And that's my thing is like, why not do a Friday Fest when there's actually local musicians who fuck so hard beyond that? You have Juice Box, you have Ben Pooh and Crew, you have Defeats the Porpoise. I'll put you guys in there. You have the Burrows. The Burrows fucking travel international to make shit happen. And the fact that you're just like, no, we're gonna go hire these guys who old people want to hear, which is fine. But at the same time, if we want to
That
integrate,
sounded so just like hateful.
no,
old
no,
people.
it wasn't hateful because the
He was
gener-
talking about me.
Yeah, he was talking about you. Got
Nah,
you
dude.
good. Got you good.
Nah, doggy. We wouldn't invite you here if you thought you're old. You know,
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're inviting these like jam bands or things that are expected here by the older generation, not realizing that what's here now is a generation that's us, anywhere from like 20 to 50 that actually listen to music in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s.
We
And
just
it's
want
like
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, for
exactly.
real.
Like seriously, like if you brought like a Backstreet Boys cover band to fucking Friday Fest, it would sell
It would
out.
fucking
Oh, yeah,
pack.
it'd be
dude.
nuts.
That'd be-
That'd be
Chingy
nuts.
and the Yang Twins get in the fucking Stampede, and they sold that shit out. Like,
Dude, they fucking packed. And that was on the same night as the Stone Temple Pilots.
Temple
exactly.
Pilots, yeah.
And that was probably more
And
busy than the Stone Temple was.
I would
It
have went
was.
to Stone.
I went to the
would've-
Stone Temple
I would've
Pilots.
went.
I went
was
to the
busy that night.
But I went to Stone Temple Pilots, and I was like, "Yo, I kind of have to go check out Chingy."
I would've done that, too.
because
I
I
would've
have
done it
to.
all.
You
Yeah.
know, it's just my generation.
And
And,
so-
I went to the free stage, which also you pay admission to get into the free stage, and that shit was fucking packed.
yeah.
Stone Temple Pilots was like good, but the free stage was fucking
But that's
packed.
kind of going to my question in general is that like, like I don't like the moniker of like Grillebrity because for one, I definitely don't think I'm that. I'm just the guy who plays at bars and that's it. Like for me, that's where I'm at, right? But at the same time, it's like, for someone who really plans on living here, because I feel like I can't live anywhere else because I can't afford it. I want to make Greeley be something special that we can encourage people who live in the community to become something better than just like, you know what I mean? Like I if I'm going to be called a Grillebrity, which I fucking hate, I want to
I've
make
never
that
heard
sound.
that word until today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I've been called that and I felt like, no,
I've
I'm
just
not.
always referred to it as really good.
Yeah, no, just Grillebrity.
yeah,
right?
it's the same, literally the same thing. Yeah,
So-
yeah.
But if I'm going to become that, I want to make sure that I'm doing my best to at least bring that out to make people be better, right? But everything you guys are saying is absolutely right. Like
So-
it's like, what's the point of helping that out?
But let me just say one thing: that the difference between my answer and all three of your answers was you guys all said your biggest fear, and mine's just open water. So like, it's definitely very different for all.
No,
of us.
not true. Because I
You know,
know,
But it's
Sharks
all of you said
kinda
like my
suck.
biggest fear, my biggest, and like my thing was just like I don't have to do it.
No, you're
I just
right.
Choose
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
But
That's like the difference. So like,
But I hope you know, Skip, that you have had such a big impact on the beer industry, not only just in Greeley in Northern Colorado. You've had a big impact in like just Colorado in general, in the sense of just like the ideas that you brought through, like the places that we've worked together, or even just like I don't know if you've worked at. You've done the due diligence to make them better. So
sure, definitely making things better is always
So
the
maybe not in the
goal.
public eye, but
yeah, you're just popular in different scenes than we are.
But people know who Skip
Right.
is.
But yeah, people like know who exactly the fuck who Skip
Okay,
is.
well,
Yeah.
I'm still standing behind my answer. For
No,
biggest
yeah, I
fear.
mean you're right. You're right though. Your answer is correct, but it's just a very different scene.
sure,
Yeah.
no, it's
Like if we went to some random fest from some random brewery in NoCo, and we're just like, oh yeah, we were talking to Skip.
So-
They'd be like, yeah,
So
I
I
know
was-
who the fuck that is.
I was sitting at a bar 2 weeks ago, and it was called, it's something different, but I call it Phil McCracken's, but that's not the name.
Can it be? Oh my god!
I think it was like John or Jill McCracken's. I worked with a guy whose name was Phil one time at a liquor store, and he made his name tag say Phil McCracken. I thought that was funny.
Was
Anyway,
it Skip?
So I'm sitting next. Sounds
like a Skip thing. I did work at a liquor store.
I'm sitting next to this couple, and the woman, as I don't know if you see on TV, I'm covered in tattoos. She noticed my
You just
tattoos.
fucking call it TV.
And she, what did I say TV? Yeah.
I think you said
if you're
TV.
watching this on the,
If you're watching this on ESPN,
if you're watching your stories tonight,
This is a new 30 for 30, by the way, you guys.
so we started talking about tattoos, and she said, I said, yeah, I get them when I travel. They're kind of commemorate different shows. And she said, oh, well, where are you from? And I said, Greeley, Colorado. And I said, I'm from Colorado. And she goes, well, really, where? And I said, Greeley. And she pulls up a picture of she and her husband, sitting at Weldworks.
yeah,
They had been there 3 weeks before, and they said, have you been to Weldworks?
Weldworks.
And I said, yeah. And they said, we just were there. My aunt or my mom or somebody lives there. And we went to Weldworks. That was such a great brewery. Everywhere I've gone, I travel. Luckily, I get to travel all the time. And everybody has heard of Weldworks.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really excited to be like, I know Skip.
Yeah.
No, man. Like honestly, like I think a lot of people. This is an intervention. You know, how,
Yeah,
how
this-
great you are about
You're
it.
not
Thank you,
drinking
thank you.
tonight.
Yeah. No.
I gotta
it's-
find my wallet. It's gonna be
Couch,
it's gonna be a
bitch.
tough, it's gonna be a tough night.
I really do think.
Freak.
I really do think that you bring a lot to the community, man. Just not only just in the beer industry, because like as much as we want to say it, like Greeley is beer.
And like,
Yeah.
I will say one thing about Weldworks is we do have an amazing team of people because I'm not making every beer.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing it all. Like we have an amazing team of people across
Do you even
the board.
like strap on your brew boots anymore? Or?
No, I'm actually am on Friday and I'm pretty stoked.
What are you doing?
Filling some barrels and transferring some barrels. I haven't done it in a little bit, but I'm stoked up about that.
Nice.
So today,
sick,
when
yeah.
this comes out, the DVD extras, I will be doing it and listening to it. But yeah, I'm excited. It's been a while, but yeah.
No, and I hope you know, man, that we're not trying to dismiss anyone else who's helped you get to
And
this
that's the
bit
big
that
thing.
we're
Is
at,
like
but
there's always been. I mean, I got to work with Nick, who, in my opinion, has been the best
he's
brewer.
the best. I
We
love
said
that
that
guy.
earlier.
He's the best brewer I've ever met in
You
my
told
life.
me that. You told me that years ago. That
Years
Nick
ago,
was the
and,
smartest
you know,
brewer you've ever met.
He is the best
Man.
brewer I've ever met in my entire life.
And and the fact that like at one point I was hired to replace Nick with literally zero brewing experience.
Yeah, that, I mean, like it's not even. It's
And
like,
I'm just
you can't,
like,
you
the
can't replace it. Like
No,
Nick,
but
Fuck,
sure.
man.
No, but regardless
Nick
of all
is
that,
one of the best of all time, and
Yeah.
I mean, I wrote his coattails for years. So
Yeah.
I mean, like finally,
Dude,
he's
yeah,
finally
Nick is
retired.
awesome.
He finally
No.
retired for beer, so now I can finally shine. No,
but the biggest thing
Now
about
it's
that,
my turn, motherfucker.
yeah, right. Yeah.
with all that being said, I think when it comes to Skip, not only is Skip good at what he does, and honestly, I think Skip is the kind of guy who can do whatever he wants to do and to make it well. Because I've seen Skip do some fucking dope ass shit, and it said it has like beer improvement or driven with that. Sorry, that was really gross.
A little bit, but that's just you. That's just what you do.
But the fact of the matter is, man, is like I think through all the careers that you work through in Greeley, like people know you for like who you are, which
Yeah.
honestly might be
which is probably
which-
my favorite thing to know me as.
which
Yeah.
might be like an unintentional consequence of what you're doing. But at the end of the day, like I think everyone that's sitting here will be recognized by someone in a crowd in Greeley within 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Probably.
And I think for me, like that's cool. It's cool. It's great to have people like that. And if you guys move on, I'm cool with that as well because
Right.
it's like you're going to do bigger things, and I could brag about like, oh yeah, Paul's fucking in New Orleans tomorrow. Like if this comes out, he's gonna be fucking doing a great show over there. You know, Chris is playing with my dick, and that's fucking great. You know, and
Talking about Gautier.
I wasn't wrong though.
No, you were right.
But-
I'm blown away.
But you know,
so last thing I want to talk about,
Yeah.
just so we can switch it a little bit. Can you guys all at least go around? This might take a little bit too long, but fuck it, why not? The first time we met each other, what was like that situation like?
Like each of us?
Yeah, so I'll go
like,
first.
Oh man, this might take
oh,
a
so
long
like
time.
you're doing
Yeah,
three.
so I'll go first,
Okay.
and we'll try and make it as quick as possible. So the first time I met Chris was at
Block Party.
It was Block Party about like almost 10 years ago. It was 9 years ago.
9 years ago. in
September 13th.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny. I remember that day.
we remember that day.
Also, Chris's birthday's on Thursday, by the way. So happy birthday to Chris.
Hey, when this comes out, my birthday was yesterday.
How old are you turning?
30. Beep.
Yeah, we'll keep
Nice.
that out. So yeah, so I met Chris.
Good age. Good age.
If you guys can believe it, when the first time I met Chris, we were actually really nice to each other. It was great.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, we were the fucking worst to each other. So it's
Yeah.
awesome. So I love this guy. Skip, the first time I remember meeting him was an open mic at Patrick's.
Yep, that's what I remember meeting.
I played an open mic and I got done, and Skip just brings out like 3 or 4 Vegas bombs, and he's like, "Here you go, man. I fucking hate my life," and just walked away.
Vegas.
far as-
stand
Yeah.
stand
How
behind
many?
it.
I remember
Stand
Vegas
behind that.
bombs. I have not thought about that.
I mean, hey,
Vegas
Patrick's
bombs.
is open right now if you guys want to go after this.
I cannot.
And then
Yeah.
Paul,
I don't have an
I
ID.
met the first time I met Paul
They
was
won't
actually
ID you,
at
bro.
a
You're
meeting
good.
at the place
Yeah,
we used to
they
work
probably
at. And Paul was like, "Dude, hey, what's up? What's going on?" But the first time I really remember Paul is that the place that we used to work at won a medal. And fucking Paul comes out with some fucking Dom Perignon, just
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
Here's fucking 4 bottles, have fun, and just like walked away. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this fucking
I think we
guy's
busted
awesome.
4 bottles of Dom and a bottle of Pappy that night.
I think
didn't
you're
we?
right.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so. Yeah, maybe.
I was
So
like,
you
yo.
guys are like much tighter than like. I mean, we're tight, but then the 3 of you are much tighter.
Well,
than,
just a little bit longer.
No,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
that's when I was like, you know what? Like, Paul's the kind of guy who's like celebrates wins
Celebrate him. You got it.
and actually just like wants to have a good time. So
That's
that's
fair.
awesome, man. I fuck with you. You're fucking
Oh,
dope.
thanks.
Yeah.
All right, let's go Chris next because he has not much to say. I think.
Well, I mean, yeah, like
I mean, the problem is you just went through like half of us. So like, by the time you get to Paul, he's
But
just
we've-
like,
we've
all
all-
right,
we've all
that's
been-
the stories.
I guess it's fair, but like,
Ditto.
like you know, the other perspective.
you heard
right?
him. That's
Fuck,
how
I'm
I heard
sorry.
it,
That's
yeah.
not what I wanted to do. I'm
You know what I'm
sorry.
saying?
well,
I got
'cause,
some fun stories. I got some fun stories.
but
yeah.
I think you worded it wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
You
All
can
right,
just,
yeah.
yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
go, Chris.
so
All right,
like,
Chris.
yeah, I met G almost a decade ago at Block Party, and the funny thing was that G needed my help, and I gave it to him. That's where I fucked up.
That's where the friendship
And
started.
all went
And-
downhill from there.
And since then, he has not stopped sucking my asshole.
No, I'm more of the tank guy. Every
Well,
once in a
you-
while,
well, it's just
every once
'cause
in a while I
you're-
get the assholes.
I
So
just
a lot of it is me.
just assumed your eyesight was so bad you didn't know where my asshole was, and you just like wherever he
I figured
landed.
if I go through the middle, you won't know what I really want. So,
Oh, that's fair.
yeah,
that's fair. That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, but Skip, I don't even
Mine was
remember.
So genuine. You just like-
I don't even remember when the first time I met Skip. I just remember introducing my mom to you.
I honestly, I was gonna say, I think one of the first times that I remember hanging out was with your mom.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
and I introduced you, and it was like, "Yo, this is the guy that's making the beer that you love."
yeah.
And my mom was like toasted by then, and she was just like, "Oh my god,
Half a beer
this
in.
is the best beer
I think
I've
like I
ever
said,
had."
the first that's the same memory I have of the first
Yeah,
time. 'Cause
yeah.
I was like, but I feel like we knew each other somehow.
Yeah, like we were vaguely introduced because you
Right.
know you used
Yeah.
to work
That's the-
at
that's the worst,
Patrick's,
dude.
Patrick's
and I
stuff.
was
Yeah.
always just downtown in general, and yeah,
But like I
That's
said,
gotta be
and
the
that
worst.
was definitely the first thing I would say is I remember like having beers with you and your mom on
Yeah.
on the patio and
yeah, because he like got off of work, and then we were just crushing like
yeah, we were just hanging out.
some
Yeah.
form
I
of
don't
like
know.
imperial
Yeah,
stout or
probably.
something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
those
I
good
don't
old summer nights, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Paul.
it was good.
I feel Paul's probably more recent, right?
Yeah, Paul
I
is
think-
literally when we recorded the
But
podcast.
I think we've been in the same circles for a while. I think
yeah.
we
Yeah.
kind of passed each other at the business that shall not be named.
Exactly.
You know,
Well,
in and out.
Voldemort. All right.
yeah.
Skip. I mean, this is probably.
I mean,
this is
I
a-
just
think
went with
like-
Chris's. I
Okay.
think G's sums it up pretty nice.
I remember you guys
then-
talking about that like truck hot tub that you did. That
truck
might
hot
have
tub was
that
fun.
might have
That
been the
was
first
fun.
time I
That was
met
fun.
you. Actually,
Actually, that might have been the first time I actually met you.
Yeah, we did the truck hot tub. That was fun.
Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to Nick and his
Again,
truck. That
again.
was cool. Yeah. And then Paul,
wanna hear
I'm
your
trying to-
Paul's.
So the thing with Paul is that like it was kind of like I didn't actually like I don't remember the actual time we met, but like I just remember like all these like times that like we've like taught like somebody was talking about and like, oh, this guy's gonna come in, and like I started getting to know him. And honestly, it was like really, I think when you did a show, and this isn't the first time I met you, but it was one of the first times that I was really like, I really fuck with this guy, was watching one of his shows. And it was like, it's like so good. And it's not just the illusions and all the stuff, but it's the storytelling. And it makes you just
Yeah.
like forget that you're even like here for the trick and stuff. You could just listen to Paul tell stories and just and it doesn't need the illusions and all the other stuff for it to be entertaining to me personally. And that's when I was like, all right, I fuck with this guy. I like Paul.
So adding on to that, I think what Paul does best is that he makes you excited because he like
he's excited.
Yeah.
but
So
like,
that's fair. Yeah.
Dude, that's the best part. It's just when someone's excited on what they're telling you, it makes you
You
more
do that
excited.
really well, man. By the way, so it's fun.
But yeah, I definitely need to come see your show.
It's worth to watch, man.
Definitely
fun.
need to.
They're fun.
The first time I watched Paul's show was at a work that I think that we were both working at.
And we talked about this on the podcast.
Dude,
It was fucking hard.
He fucking. I hate to say it, Paul. You fucking bombed, dude.
No, it was hard. It wasn't. I mean, I'm gonna say it wasn't me. My show was perfect.
It wasn't
It was
him.
the crowd. The crowd was fucking
Everyone's
tough.
like, "Yo, you went from like we're at Gourmet Grub, and it's like you went from music to like magic." And
R.I.P.
dude,
Gourmet Grub.
I was so fucking
Right,
excited.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
But it was an
Right Coast,
oil company.
R.I.P.
It was-
Right
Sorry.
Coast.
Sorry,
Yeah, it was an oil company
Right.
show, and it was so.
dude. It was rough. It was.
So I think
I loved it, but I saw Paul was like,
you know what? And that's the thing is we talked a little bit about this. Music can be in the background. You don't need a silent crowd.
Yeah.
The very first show I did in Greeley, there was a paid show. I was in between belly dancers and a band. Fuck that. That was fucking
that
hard.
sucks. That
Because
sucks.
all of a sudden they
Fuck
expect
that.
They expect everybody to be nice.
That was a good
job.
time.
That's
That
why
was
I'm a
good.
producer.
Nice job. They expect everybody to be quiet for one asshole in the middle of belly dancers and a
and
band.
everyone's drunk, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
There was this one guy who was heckling the shit out of him, and Paul dealt with it really well. But I was just like,
I don't
Jesus
remember that. I
Christ.
don't remember. I say 80% of my shows are on Bourbon Street. I deal with drunks quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think G, and you said when we first met, but I think the story of developing a friendship with you was probably when we came down to Austin.
Oh
And that was they were courting us. They were saying this is what we want the brewery to be.
Yeah, 'cause
This is
we went
what
to
we
Jester
want
King.
the business.
That's
We went
right.
to Jester
Oh,
King.
yeah.
And we went to Salt Lake, and we went to CBG or no.
I didn't go to see. I didn't go to Salt Lake because I had to work.
ABGBs,
Yeah.
and then the Skull Cracker or whatever was just
Skull
all getting-
Mechanics.
Skull Mechanics.
Was
yeah.
that was he was just getting ready to open?
Liquor
Yeah.
Mechanics.
No, Skull Mechanics.
No, it was Skull something.
No, it
It
was
was
Skull
Skull
Mechanics.
Mechanics.
No, it was Skull Mechanics. Yeah.
Skull Mechanics.
And then
R.I.P. Skull
there.
Mechanics.
what was the cider place? Argus.
No, it was
Argus was
Argus. Yeah.
Argus right next to Jester.
Yeah.
That's
And-
right.
I'm
we-
assuming probably Rip.
And we kind of got a chance to hang out and talk. That was the first one, and then Chris. I think I said we've been in the same circles for a while, but I really think the first conversation I had with Skip was about fucking Migos. I mean, I think it was about, and we talked about Supreme Clientele, the album from Ghostface.
Yeah.
And I think Skip was really, really, I don't want to say excited or impressed that an old fat guy knew just as much about hip hop.
I would have.
I would have.
Well, I mean, you're rocking a Wu-Tang shirt right now, so it's like you
Wu-Tang is
better
for the
know some
children.
shit.
Wu-Tang is for the
Wu-Tang is for
children.
the
Dude,
children.
it's funny. I forgot about the whole Austin trip. I was in such a low place
Right.
that I was just kind of like, that was probably the highlight of me living there. And I was there for like, when they went over there.
6 months? Oh no!
When
When
they went over
Yeah.
there, it was literally I was there for a week.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
that was
yeah.
my highlight. Imagine how the rest of that shit went.
Yeah.
dude.
No, I know. I talk to you every
I
night.
talk to you often too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. When you talk to somebody
Yeah,
every
we
day,
had that
and
cabin
it's
next to Jester King. I
fuck.
remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking shit, dude. That's amazing.
Yep. So, but I just, and I talk about this a lot, and I say this, I said this on your last show. And it sounds like I'm joking, but I am the absolute luckiest kid in the world. And the reason my life is so full and so amazing is because of the people that I've chosen and the people that have chosen
Yeah,
to include
100%.
me in it. And the three of you, I've known Skip probably the longest and I say this, and it sounds like I'm blowing smoke, but Skip is absolutely one of my favorite people in the world.
No, I
I
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Skip is dope.
And
Oh, yeah, I
you two
appreciate
guys have
that,
become
guys.
what G and Chris have done for me in the last 2 weeks is going to be I can't wait to show you what G and Chris have done for me in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What
But
we've-
wait,
appreciate
there's,
it.
But wait, there's more.
what we've got coming up starting on September 4th at noon out of my basement is the Mystery Collection Conversations. What G and Chris have helped me build is going to be fucking amazing. It is going to be so much fun.
It's on OnlyFans, you guys. It's all nude. There's a lot of feet, a lot of zooms. No, but dead ass. I think Paul hit it on the nail. I think
fun table of people.
This
Yeah.
honestly was not supposed to happen. What's happening right now was not supposed to happen.
That's very true.
It was just supposed to be Chris and I sitting kind of over there, if you guys can see. You
Yeah.
guys probably can't.
And I called G and said, "Hey, you want to get a beer?"
And from
And
there,
then
it's
Skip
like,
made the mistake of calling G.
yeah, but you know what? There's a rarity. There's something to be said about a rarity of like having these people say yes at the same time. And we all did. And granted, I understand. I understand.
Well,
like,
there's
it was
even
like,
another layer to that because we were supposed to record yesterday, but you played kickball.
It's true. Yeah.
Boom.
So it's just
Well,
like,
and nothing for naught. You guys are pretty lucky to get two fucking celebrities like me and Skip.
yeah, for real. No, we didn't
You
get.
got like really,
There you go.
To
Yeah.
get the Skip Schwartz and me in one room. I mean,
But
The Paul Skip Shorts.
But I think our ultimate goal when it comes to anything that we do in this studio is having people that are willing to have ambition to do things that are different, but also kind of grow the environment they're in. And the fact that none of us hesitated to say yes to being here tonight in different text threads.
Yeah.
Because I was like Paul was like, "Hey, you want to come grab a beer?" I was like, "Dude, absolutely, yes, let's grab a beer." Like I had shit to do, and I was like, "No, I want to hang out with Paul. Why not?"
Yeah.
And then Chris is like, "Hey, are you done?" I was like, "Dude, yeah, I'm here with Paul." Like, "Yeah, you want to have Paul on the podcast?" He's like, "Yes." And then Skip calls. He's like, "Hey, Skip, you want to join the podcast?" We all said yes tonight, and that to me means way more than just fuck it. Even recording like both of these episodes, it's a matter of just people who want to like share some conversation or just share a moment with each other. And honestly, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for coming.
I mean,
in,
I didn't look
honestly.
at it as like a podcast. I looked at it as like we're gonna hang out and talk about shit, and people are gonna
Yeah,
listen.
exactly.
People, are gonna,
Yeah,
people are lucky enough to get to listen to it.
that's what's
Yeah, for
funny.
real,
is
for real.
The best of 5 I did with
Yeah.
you guys earlier. I don't remember what we talked about.
You won't remember what we're
No.
talking
Yeah.
about
And
now.
because I told somebody, it was like I just sat down with some buddies.
Yeah, we just hang out.
Yeah.
You know?
And like,
Just
so
bullshitting.
that's a good and bad thing that I like about doing podcasting. Because like, yeah, I just like sitting here shooting the shit with some like really good friends. But the bad thing is like,
You forget what you talked
oh,
about.
I don't remember what I said.
Well, I went back and listened, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I should probably have not have said
No,
that.
trust me, we've heard worse. It honestly, we're
Yeah.
pretty good at knowing when to censor people for sure.
Yeah, we definitely have figured out when to cut things and when to not cut things.
Well, I'm looking forward to having you guys to come down to the basement. And,
Dude, I'm so
and
excited. Yeah, absolutely.
Once I get everything set up.
We'll leave it at that. Well, cheers, you guys. Thank you
Cheers.
guys for coming out.
Yeah.
Check
My
out
cup.
the mysterycollection.com,
No cup.
brand new website as of
Nothing in
today.
my cup.
And YouTube channel. It's great. Yeah,
And of
for sure.
course, yeah. So follow Mystery Collection on YouTube, tickle that bell, subscribe, all that bullshit. Same thing with Best of 5.
Skip the beer on Instagram, by the way.
Skip the beer.
Don't follow.
Get them.
Reposts only.
Repost only. That's actually literally what all.
Fact.
I just want to thank all you besties for checking out.
Motherfuckers, I love it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
checking out Best of 5. Still, after all these weeks of us not doing anything and all these weeks of us doing things, and you guys are still hanging
Stop
out.
talking. I gotta edit this shit. Let's end this right now.
Bill Withers, Lovely Day is still better than Gautier's Somebody That I
Yeah,
Knew.
Chris's fucking list
It's
sucked, by the way.
Technically speaking, I'm not wrong.
You are wrong.
That's going in the hat.
Technically,
You're wrong.
schmechnically.
Thank you guys again so much for hanging out, not coming out, hanging out with us. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week. Next week, we're gonna have another special guest.
Who's
gonna
got
be
next
great.
week? Who got next week?
Oh fuck, I think it's Birdie, isn't it?
I don't know what
Bird
order we're
dog.
doing, but
Let's go Birdie.
So when are you
Birdie's
having
next.
Kirk and Sally on?
They never want to come on.
Oh, I'm gonna. My goal is I'm gonna have them on mine before you guys have them on yours.
I'm gonna
probably
start a
come on
podcast
yours.
called Kirk and Sally Come on This Podcast.
Yeah, come on, Kirk, Sally,
Dude.
come on.
Yeah. We have a
I
lot-
want to hear. I want to hear who Sally's fuck that
well,
guy is.
actually, like, fun fact, speaking of that, we have a lot of special guests coming up.
So many
G and I won't have a solo episode
for about a month.
Awesome.
until October-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's very fun.
definitely
Fun.
stay tuned for all the cool
Tired
stuff.
of hearing you two weirdos talk about Paul Rudd.
Fuck you, it's coming back so much harder now because of that
Paul
shit.
Rudd.
Thank you guys again so
Paul
much.
Rudd.
Have a good night.
Paul Rudd.
Have a good night. Cheers, you guys. Already walked off. I love it. All right, cool.